was one big scam.
I'm your mother!
But I came to save you.
From what?
The next Greatland sweetheart is...
Chloe,
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for talking to me today about Greatland.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
My only regret is I didn't have any mushrooms while I watched this movie. So, man, I enjoyed this movie. It was nothing what I'd expected. It was a trip, but it was like usually when these abstract movies and these real surrealistic films, they kind of lose you. But this one just kept my interest. It was so visually, I mean, I kept pausing it to look at all the different things in the background. And I mean, they really put some detail in this movie.
Yeah, the attention to detail was incredible. The production design, just down to like every last item in every room, and the lighting in the garage versus like on the island, the VFX of everything. They put so much really great detail into it.
Well, you know, Greatland's a coming of age story of Ulysses, a dystopian utopia, and he's on a journey to find his father and also to rescue you from Repentance Island. Yeah, I know it sounds weird when you say it, but when you watch it, it makes sense. I can't believe how many pop culture references and images are in this movie too.
Yeah, and not only pop culture, like literary and poetic references too. When I first read the script, I was very, very young compared to how we are now after all the VFX and the editing's done. So I don't think me and Armin fully realized the poetry, and we did a ton of work with Dana to really get us in there and to understand all of this. But the actual impact that it has is really, really beautiful. And the way that they use poetry and they use these past references is really wonderful.
And how does a visually rich movie like this, how does it read in the script?
So different than what you would ever imagine, because with something like this, you have no idea how they're going to do it. You read this script and you're like, they're proposing so many cool ideas, but visually, like, this could either go one of two ways. Like, so it's such a complex, heavy production design script, and they did an incredible job with it, and they spent the time and the detail, and I did not think it would look anything like it does when I initially read the script, but I love how it looks.
And you know, Armin, he is so incredible. What a talent. I've never heard of him, never seen him before. Not only is he just stunning to look at, but I think he could be the next Timothy Chalamet. I really do.
I love Armin. He's the best. Throughout the whole film, if you watch it, you'll see that a heavy chunk of the footage was me and Armin. And so we got very, very close. And we ended up getting to go to Catalina Island and the Getty Villa and Malibu. Very cool locations to shoot some of these shots, especially the stuff on Repentance Island. And I got to just travel and explore with Armin, and it was so fun. We just became really great friends throughout the process, and I think that really shows through in their work.
And just tell me about your relationship and your experience with the director, because Dana, I mean, where does that come from? Is she visually, I mean, her visual style in making this movie, is it in her personality when you speak to her?
Definitely not. Dana is so interesting. She's very, very particular with what she wants. And she's pretty quiet too, unless she's expressing what she wants. And I think that's really, really wonderful, because you see all these moving pieces in her brain and you see her ideas in these like little things, but then at some point you get to see it all pieced together and you're like, oh, I get it. Like, she is so smart and she knows exactly how she wants everything and what she wants. So she is never afraid to be like, we're going to do a billion takes of this because we want it right. And I really respect that. And I think it really shows in her work.
And Greatland has such ambiguous sexuality in it. You know, it's just kind of like all over the place. There's not like one gender at all. It seems like it's just like, it's very inclusive, I guess is the right word.
Yeah, and I think it's creating such an interesting statement, and it doesn't give you their opinion on that, but the fact that Ulysses is about to marry a birch tree and he's just like so doesn't know how to feel about that.
His son's a rabbit. What? I'm like, what?
His son is a rabbit. It's this confliction, this longing for that real personal connection, but you've been brainwashed your whole life to think that this is what's real, this is what's right.
And did you have a chance to meet Eric Roberts? I mean, he's always so quirky in everything he does. I mean, I just adore him.
Yeah, me and Eric Roberts actually get to share a lot of screen time in this film, which was wonderful. He plays the alpha altruist, who's kind of the head of this big controversy going on. There's Kat Purry and George Doberman, and they're both running for election right now. And George Doberman is actually Eric Roberts' like dog in the film, and Kat Purry being his wife. And so it was really very cool to be able to work with Eric. And if you see it, you'll see that we filmed in this beautiful, we filmed in the Getty Villa in Malibu. So it was just filled with old art and culture. And we were on this cliff, like looking over the water. And it was just so incredible. And Eric he was always down to like run lines and practice before, and he's just always prepared and really eager and excited to do anything that comes his way. And he was a great joy to work with.
Well, that was your big scene. You were rolling all over the patio there, with an axe in your hand. I mean, was that a stunt double, or did you guys really battle it out?
I had a stunt double. We definitely did.
I was going to say, okay.
I had a really incredible stunt double for that film.
Well, what I really enjoyed about the movie too is also the closing song over the credits is called Greatland. I mean, even the music in this movie is so experimental and complementary to all the incredible visuals.
Yeah, the score definitely adds that eerie element that makes this like happy Loveland more dystopian, and like you feel it a little off. I think the score was really intentionally chosen, and it does a great job of reflecting the emotions that Dana wanted to evoke in the audience.
Well, I think people are just going to discover this movie. I think it's going to be a cult classic. I really do, And
oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I just love visual movies like this, and Dana, I just love to meet her someday, because I wish I had a creative mind like this, because this was just a fabulous film.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Ugly Duck. And, our hearts beat for Greatland.
Our hearts beat for Greatland. Thank you.